welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're building stone walls. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and that way we can help the channel to grow. So this process is probably the easiest one that I've done, despite the fact that I did have a bit of a catastrophe halfway through. So I got 4 popsicle sticks straight, and then 4 of them which I just clipped the ends off at slight angles. If you wanted to, then you could quite easily at this stage make little holes in them or notches, sort of like making destroyed walls or broken down parts to your walls, but I was quite happy with them as they were. So hot glue straight down the center of the hole, the whole unchopped popsicle stick, and then just stick the upper chopped ended sticks onto it, making that sort of T-shape. So what I did here was I hot glued all of the side, and then I stuck some pebbles and larger bits of stone onto it. Not for the whole thing, but just for a good chunk of it. The hot glue is giving you sort of a rough and slightly thicker feel to the walls themselves, rather than just a popsicle stick. It makes it more broken. You could quite easily at this stage stick 2 of the sticks together to make a wider wall, but I just went with the single, and as I said, with the hot glue, that kind of gives it that broken feel. Then once we've got our pebbles and stuff stuck into it, then PVA or Mod Podge all of the areas in between, and you could go straight over the top of the stones, depends on the effect that you're going for. I just went straight in. What I did find was that trying to push the stones into the hot glue was kind of a losing battle, which is why I really only did it on the first one, and then kind of gave up on the second, third and fourth. And with those ones I still did the hot glue, but I didn't push the stones into it. Make sure you give yourself a good coating at this stage. Then, using the finer stones and the sort of sand grit mix that I've got, I sprinkled that on top of the PVA from the previous step. Should be noted at this point that when I put them out to dry, I did have a catastrophe in that there was a gust of wind that blew the drying board off of my balcony, and they basically lost everything. So I had to go back and basically apply more, and probably went heavier this time round just on the sand rather than the pebbles. After that had dried, then I spray painted with matte black just across the board. Then I started dry brushing with grey. I think that was uniform grey. I also did some light khaki dry brushing as well, and then towards the end I watered down some green and just dab that. I do the base with the green, sorry, but then I also just dab little bits and dry brush little bits of the actual walls themselves. Just because when you see a stone wall in the wild, so to speak, it's never just grey. There's always different shades of grey. Browns, greens, you name it, there's different colours in it. At this stage it's just a matter of getting ready to flock the base. So a bit of PVA. You could do all the flat areas, you could do intermittent. I just basically did all the flat areas that didn't have gravel on them, and any area that was excessively gravelled I just did little touch-ups within. And as soon as the PVA is ready, then it was just dunk it into the box and then shake off what was left. So you can see my flock box is full of bits of, there's a few little stones in there, some bits of clump foliage that have dropped off over the preceding months. I don't really mind, because how often do your troops fight on a manicured lawn? not very often, so if there are extra bits of debris, I think it's slightly more realistic. But if you want to be a bit more careful, then yeah, make sure you're careful with not dropping bits and pieces into it. So next up, I just wanted to add a few extra little pieces, so some static grass tufts and some clump foliage, just to give them sort of the look that it's not just a wall, that it's a wall that's been there for a while and nature has done what nature does best and taken over again. So I got one of my tufts, chopped it into 4, just because there's not a huge surface area around the base of these walls, so chopping it into quarters does the job quite nicely. And then the clump foliage, again, just little sort of pea size pieces. I attached them with PVA purely because I didn't have super glue. If I'd had super glue, I would have used that just for the speed of drying. Once these were on, I gave each of the wall sections a spray down with my isopropyl alcohol, and then using my pipette and prepared water and PVA mixture, I then dropped that on just to set everything in place. And that's the sort of outcome that we've got, which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest. If you've liked this tutorial, please like and subscribe. Please also leave suggestions below, because all the suggestions that you guys give me, I do try to do my best to make into videos in the next few weeks. So any tutorials that you want to see, let me know. Anyway, thanks again guys for watching, and see you next time.